I think almost everybody has probably seen the evolution of AI, especially in recent times, to let's say AI art that's become very popular and well known, to that new AI that's about chatting, like ChatGPT or whatever it's called, to also deep fakes, which fakes someone's very face in voice, which, AI audio as well, which, you have voice actors concerned about, to also getting to see AI programmed in such a way to be able to play a video game and actually beat it and learn. There has been a huge growth in AI and a lot of talk about it in, recent times. And I think that something like this that I'm going to be talking about here was the inevitable. It was something that was bound to happen eventually, especially with overall in recent times, like I said, where we have AI that's even able to chat with people and learn from chatting in multiple different languages. So let's get into this overall subject. So basically, Shonen Jump Plus is teaming up with Mantra Inc. to make an app called Langaku, which is going to be a language learning app. And they ask, individuals like to improve the service. The team is looking for 5 to 10 manga fans who have experienced learning Japanese. If you meet either of the criteria and are willing to participate in a 1 to 1.5 hour online interview, please complete the form linked below. Now, before I go any further and I start talking very deep about this, I do want to make a clarification. The individual that first posted this deleted the original post of where this picture comes from, kind of, letting us all know this, and basically they said they decided to delete the post because it sounded misleading. Basically saying that, right now, at least the origin of this, the Langaku app, is innocent and it's just being used to actually train new translators and help them actually learn the language. So that is something that does need to be said, is that at least right now, in terms of the beginning of this, the origin story, so to speak, there's innocence. There's nothing, let's say, nefarious going on. But once you open the doorway, you open a crack, so to speak, that will never close. The doorway is opened and then it will slowly get pushed further and further open. That is what will happen when you open a doorway. And in this case, that's why I wanted to make this topic. Basically, even though right now, even if we wanted to paint this 100% innocent and say, yes, they're just using this app, they're teaming up with Mantra Inc. to be able to make an app that will help new translators, this is going to lead to obviously job losses in the future and other things. Now, I looked up Mantra Inc. and kind of who they are because I was just curious and all that. And Mantra Inc., as you can see here, they are a machine translation engine, basically. They develop a machine translation engine. And they've been, active since basically 2020. That's basically, where they've been or how long they've been around. They're a relatively recent company that also is stationed in Tokyo. So Shonen Jump partnering with them kind of makes sense. Now, these translations, what they're trying to obviously do, they're trying to probably translate these, Japanese manga into, let's say, I guess English or Spanish, German, whatever language you want to think of, that's what they're basically trying to do. And I think that, in all, that's not a problem necessarily. Deep down, it's not. It'll allow more people to be able to experience manga that they probably never have been able to experience. However, we do need to talk about the elephant in the room, and what this program obviously will eventually lead to as it continues to develop. So, basically, this company, if you even go up to their official, Twitter, they're a manga translator. That's what they are. They're a manga translator, and so their whole objective is to translate manga into different languages. And if these individuals, these 5 to 10 manga fans that are experienced with Japanese, train this AI enough, this AI will eventually become so well versed in translating into, let's say, different languages that it will no longer be distinguishable from an actual real translator. There might be some differences, but eventually there will come a time to where it'll be so good, it'll be hard to know. And that comes into the next main topic. I think it's very clear that a lot of companies nowadays are trying to find different ways to remove people from certain jobs. I mean, just recently, I remember seeing a video from Asmongold in my feed, and I watched it about how a lot of fast food restaurants were replacing workers with, robots to work in the kitchen. It was a very fascinating video, and this has obviously been a fear, a part of, let's say, all of, the community throughout the world for a long time. It's not something that just, let's say, appeared in this last year or the last 5 years. It's been a fear with a lot of people for decades. Like, a lot of decades. And it was just only a matter of time until eventually it was cost effective enough to be able to probably implement AI in robots. And since there, like I said, been such huge advancements in AI, eventually there will come a time to where these AI that are doing machine translations will replace the actual translators. And this is obviously what this is going to lead to. Now, once again, I want to clarify that even though this app, Langaku, is innocent right now, it will give way to other things, other companies, etc. behind the scenes using this technology or learning app to be able to machine translate stuff like light novels or whatever into a different language. And I feel like this is kind of sad because translators, as I've already spoken in recent videos, are the unsung heroes. They're individuals that don't get the proper treatment I think they deserve or the proper praise that they necessarily deserve. Because translators, they work hard. They work really hard. There's so many of us that will, like, read a manga or watch an anime, and we don't really take a lot of time out of our day to really think about just how much effort goes in to translating that series into a different language, translating it into, like, English, so to speak. It's very difficult. Definitely would take a lot of time. And these individuals are probably overworked probably a lot, probably underpaid, and they have to do a lot of work. And not a lot of people really praise them for their efforts. In fact, I see more people always putting them down than actually praising them, which is honestly very sad to see. And basically, to kind of talk about this a little bit more in depth, with this AI potentially replacing, let's say, translators, you know, it makes sense. I mean, why wouldn't a company want to replace translators? I mean, a company wants to save money. At the end of the day, a company is trying to make money. They're trying to, you know, get bigger, etc. And so, obviously, if they replace translators with an AI, they don't have to worry about paying the person or the AI. They don't have to worry about, let's say, sick leave. They don't have to worry about that translator complaining anymore. They don't have to worry about a translator saying they call it quits because it's too hard to translate, aka Cypher Academy. You know, there's a lot of things that this obviously leads to. And so, it would definitely be lucrative to probably swap translators out for an AI. Serious. When, from a company standpoint, that's lucrative because they will never have to worry about complaints, etc., or overwork because they have a little robot to do it for them. So, I think that this isn't necessarily, like, I wouldn't put Shonen Jump down necessarily for this. I think that this is just the course of just how society is advancing. With how AI is, obviously, with just how, like, everything, this was just bound to happen. If it wasn't, let's say, Shonen Jump doing this, and people behind the scenes like Shueisha, etc., there would have been another company. There would have been another company already doing this, and this is obviously just the start of a huge chain of, like, growth in AI technology to eventually replace a lot of jobs that can be replaced by AI. So yeah, I don't know. This is a pretty fascinating topic, honestly. I mean, I know that it's sad when anyone loses a job, and that is definitely something that needs to be said. It's very sad. It's a harsh reality that this is going to happen. But I guess I'm going to leave it at that. I just once again want to clarify that at least the origin of this, it is innocent. But obviously, like I said, when the doorway is opened, it's never going to close again. And this is going to lead down the path to where all of our translations, probably from Shonen Jump and other companies, is going to be machine translated. So, we'll see where this goes in recent times, but it is fascinating. I mean, once again, we could add it to a pile of just how scary AI is getting, so to speak. But, I guess, thank you so much for watching. If I gave you any form of information, and I informed you on stuff, or entertained you, etc., then do leave me a like down below. It does help me out a lot, and I would greatly appreciate it. But with that, be safe, stay healthy, Chibi out.